All right, with regards to reporting and threat in the cloud, we are specifically looking at how Cisco's StealthWatch Cloud can be implemented in our infrastructure as a service and in our platform as a service. There are some examples here of good old AWS and Google's cloud platforms. So both of these use their VPCs or your virtual public clouds to be able to hook into your StealthWatch Cloud. So we'll dive into StealthWatch Cloud a little bit more in detail later. But remember, the cloud solution can be utilized for both your public cloud and your private enterprise as well. Or if you want just the dedicated standalone hardware, you can do the enterprise along with cloud. So you can always mix and match if you'd like. And if you didn't already know, there are some trials, 30-day, 60-day trials if you want to try out StealthWatch Cloud. But basically, what we need to hit from a high level is that there are different variations in telemetry depending on what types of clouds we're using, right? So if we're using Azure, we're using a little bit of a slightly different type of telemetry versus AWS and cloud. None of these require any type of software clients. They're all just based off of, Linux OSs, and so it makes the communication a little bit easier. Now, as far as the dynamic entity modeling, this section, there is another part in, I think, one of the later sections, like 31, which I think is the next major section. But basically, just kind of looking at the things that we can take in, metadata, events, DNS information, put it through the machine learning, the analytics. We're constantly going to be monitoring, seeing what's normal and healthy in our environment, and then sort of comparing it to what's normal for our group or what's normal for our rules or what's forecasted. And based on that, we can start sending messages or alerts based on what's actually happening. Now, as far as things like AWS and VPCs, if we are giving access to the AWS VPCs, we're looking at the log access. And just kind of a quick overview as far as VPC is, generally these are used to isolate any resources, and it's based on region. So when we're looking at routing and subnets and storage, all of that is going to be based in one single VPC in one specific region. Technically, we could have, multiple VPCs inside of a single VPC, but this is kind of hitting it from a quick overview. AWS also has lots and lots of regions all over the US and all over the globe. You can actually go to AWS's website and see the map to see what's currently out, how long it's been there, what are some of the new data centers that they're going to be deploying. But generally, depending on how much overall high availability we want, we might have some of our data stored in one data center and some stored in another. Of course, each region is going to have its own availability zone within each region. So we can also spread our VMs and our resources, our storage and things like that across a single region to increase overall, high availability, and just making sure that our failure domains either reside within a region and across the cloud infrastructure.